Yo, what's up everybody? I hope that you're doing super well. In this video, I want to share my thoughts on the A77X. These are the monitor speakers here in my mixing and mastering studio, doing EDM mixing and mastering every day. These speakers are amazing and I absolutely love them. And for all the technical stuff, you can, download the manual or check out other pages, but in this video I want to go into how the speakers feel to me and why I love them so much and why I think that they are, for a lot of people, a fantastic pick to buy. Let's go. From my end, I do EDM mixing and mastering. I need to have speakers that feel like I'm in the club, that I'm at the festival, while still being super accurate, having fantastic translation, which means that if something sounds good here, that it will translate in the outside world as well. And I want to be able to very, very specifically hear the different frequencies in the high end, but as well in the low end and in the mid-range. Then I remember a lot of speakers missing clarity. A lot of speakers feel exciting in the bass, but the clarity is pretty bad. And you can really hear this if you have super cheap speakers and your track sounds dope on those speakers, but you put them on a USB stick, you take them into a really good, powerful, professional studio, and you hear the track and suddenly all kind of problem areas show up and the track doesn't sound good anymore. And this is something that I don't want to happen, because if I do a mix, if I do a master, it needs to translate in the real world. And the atoms are extremely clear. And that brings me on to the point of the story where I fell in love with the Atom A77Xs. I remember doing a studio session. It was not in my own studio, it was in a studio owned by Sony Music. I was doing a session there to record the vocals for my track Bentley, which got released on Spinning Deep with Feliciana. She's amazing, and we were working in a studio from Sony. This studio had the A77Xs, and I felt like, whoa, these speakers are different because they were extremely open. They have extremely punchy and big sounding low end, while still, feeling precise and feeling really, really good. And the quality was so high that I felt like, whoa, I don't even want to check out other speakers. I want the A77Xs in my studio. I do have them now for some time and I'm extremely used to them. So I'm very, very confident that when a master sounds good on my speakers, that it will translate, and it does translate as well in the real world. So let's get into a bit more detail as well on the sound. I would say the bass is very, very precise, big and punchy. When the speakers are in a good room, of course, and you are not too close to the speakers. These are not made to be near field, but more mid-field speakers. The tweeters are, Adam is known for their tweeters and they sound absolutely fantastic. I do have a side note, which is that the tweeters are so precise, especially like in the super high end, that yes, you can hear everything. You feel like, okay, the smallest of details, I can tell if, anything changes or anything needs to be changed. It's great, but it needs to be kept in mind that it requires some hearing energy. So if you are spending long days, for example, when I mix, when I master, yes, I do monitor at loud volumes sometimes, but not all day long. They are pretty tiring to the ear if you listen to them very loud, very long. So I wouldn't buy the speakers, for example, if you are building a DJ booth, because they just sound too clear and you maybe want to go more for a more basic type of speaker. But if you're mixing, mastering, if you're producing, and if you have a quite big studio because you don't want to be too close to the speakers, then 100% buy the A77Xs. The price is very, very nice as well. I think it's about 1K per speaker, which is really good. Always keep in mind that your DA conversion matters as well for your monitor quality. So I'm using the Prism Sound Lyra 2. If you want to find out more about that, then there's a video on the channel as well. I will link it up here. And yes, it's important which interface you use, because it really changes the quality of your sound that's going into the speaker as well. So I hope that this video was nice to watch for you and helped you make a better purchase decision, or gather some insight from my end on the A77Xs. I specifically didn't go into other Atom speakers because these are the ones I'm using, and I expect the A7X to be about the same, but just more cheap, and as well for smaller studios. And the S series from the Atoms are a different type of speaker as well. So I think the A77X is one of the most popular Atom speakers for a reason. They are fantastic. People all over the world love them, and that's for a reason. That's because they're very amazing.